You are there at the moment of the break. You stand on the observation deck of Star Spire Epsilon. Below you, the city of Neo-Alexandria hums with light. Trillions of lives unfold in perfect, ordered peace. It is the culmination of 10,000 years of human effort. Then it happens. It is not a sound. It is not a sight. It is a feeling, a deep, resonant wrongness. The sky flickers, not like a faulty light. It flickers like a film slipping its sprockets. For a single, eternal second, the star-dusted veil of night is gone. You see something else. A sky of churning, violet chaos. You see realities bleeding into one another, worlds born and dying in the blink of an eye. Then just as quickly, it is gone. The familiar stars snap back into place. Your breath returns to your lungs. Around you, people look confused. A child asks their mother what the funny sky was. The moment passes for them, but not for you. You have access to the deep network, the Ansible grid connecting all of humanity. And on that grid, a single alarm is screaming. It is an alarm that has never sounded. It is the multiversal integrity alarm. It is screaming from every single human world. Every colony, every station, every pocket dimension. Across 1,000 realities, all at once. You saw the flicker. They all saw the flicker. You dive into the data streams. The information is impossible. It is a wave of existential decay. A flaw propagating through the very fabric of being. It ripples backward and forward in time. It erodes the barriers between what is, what was, and what could be. This was not an attack. This was a fundamental error in the code of existence itself. The data shows a single point of origin, or rather, it shows no origin at all. It is everywhere, and it is spreading. It is a crack in the mirror of the multiverse, and you realize with cold dread, the crack is growing. A cosmic event of this scale should be impossible. Things should not just break, unless the rules that held them together were never as strong as you believed. Suddenly, the air in your spire grows cold. The light from the city below seems to dim. A presence enters the room with you. It is not physical. It is a weight on your mind. A voice that is not a voice speaks in the silent spaces of your thoughts. It is ancient. It is tired. And it is deeply, profoundly afraid. The voice belongs to the Elder Ones, a council of the first star-born races. They have watched universes bloom and die. They are the closest thing to gods the multiverse has ever known. And they have come to you. You feel their collective consciousness touch yours. 1,000 ancient minds focusing on a single point: humanity. They show you images, visions of the unraveling. You see star systems dissolving like sugar in water. You see the laws of physics fraying at the edges. Gravity becoming a suggestion rather than a rule. Light forgetting how to travel. The very concept of cause and effect coming apart. This is not a war. This is a sickness. It is the final illness of reality. The Elder Ones explain their findings. The flaw is not a new development. It is an inherent defect from the dawn of creation, a crack in the first foundation, and it has finally given way. The structure is collapsing. They offer their condolences. They speak of humanity's brief, bright existence. They praise your art, your science, your ambition. Their tone is that of a doctor speaking to a terminal patient. They have seen this before, in previous creations. They always end the same way, in silent gray oblivion. Their final message is a warning and a solution. There is no stopping the unraveling. One cannot fight the end of math itself, but one can hide from it. They speak of pocket dimensions, self-contained realities sealed off from the greater multiverse. Tiny lifeboats in a cosmic shipwreck. They will retreat to their own sanctuaries. They advise you to do the same. Gather your people. Build your arks. Seal the doors and pray the unraveling passes you by. They tell you to abandon the grand experiment of the multiverse. It has failed. Let it die. Their presence begins to fade. Their final thought is one of pity. You stand in the silent spire, the hum of the city a distant comfort. The weight of the elder, one's message settles upon you. Retreat, hide, give up. Surrender not to an enemy, but to a foregone conclusion. Accept that everything you have ever known is built on a foundation of sand. A feeling rises in your chest. It is not fear. It is not despair. It is a burning, defiant anger. You look at the data streams again, the unraveling, the flaw, the slow, inexorable decay. Humanity has faced extinction before. On a dying world of fire and ice. It learned a lesson then, a lesson the elder ones have apparently forgotten. You do not retreat. You do not hide. You push back. You open a channel to the elder ones. Their presence returns, surprised. They expected silence. They expected acceptance. They did not expect to be challenged. Your voice, broadcast from every human ansible, cuts through the silent dread. We will not run, you declare. The statement hangs in the void between worlds. The elder ones respond with a wave of weary condescension. They call your defiance noble, but futile. You cannot fight the ocean by punching the waves. You cannot hold back the night by shouting at the sun. This is not a matter of will. It is a matter of star science. You respond with a simple question. Have you ever tried? The silence that follows is your answer. They have only ever observed. They have chronicled the fall of countless cycles of creation. They are the universe's historians, its librarians. But they have never been its engineers. You see a collapse, you say, your voice gaining strength. We see a design flaw, and design flaws can be fixed. This is the human declaration. A statement of purpose so audacious, it stuns the ancient council into silence. Humanity will not build arks to escape the flood. It will build a dam. The elder ones are horrified. To them, the multiverse is a sacred text. You are proposing to tear out a page and rewrite it. They warn you that any attempt to alter the fundamental laws will only hasten the collapse. You are a child playing with the engine of creation. You will only break it faster. Then we will build a new one, you reply. The connection snaps shut. Not by your choice. They have severed the link. They have judged you, not just as arrogant, but as a threat. In your defiance, you have become a greater danger than the unraveling itself. They will not help you. They will not even watch. They have turned their backs on your entire species. You are alone now, a single species against the end of everything. Some would call this the height of foolishness, a grand, tragic gesture before the final curtain. You call it Tuesday. Humanity has its purpose. Now, it just needs a plan. A very, very big plan. You stand before the assembled consciousness of humanity. Trillions of minds linked across the network. They have heard your declaration. They have felt the elder one's rejection. There is no fear. There is only a quiet, focused resolve. The task is clear. The stakes are absolute. You lay out the first step. You cannot patch the flaw. It is too deep, too fundamental. You must lay a new foundation on top of the old one. A new rule to govern all of existence. A law so powerful it can override the decay. A law that binds every particle, every wave, every dimension. The concept is staggering. It is the ultimate act of hubris, just as the elders claimed, to write a law for the multiverse. You would be defining the nature of reality itself, not discovering it, dictating it. It is the kind of thing a god might do, if a god had the nerve. You propose the first universal law, a law of conservation of reality. It is a simple, elegant principle. Reality cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change form. No more fizzling out of existence. No more timelines dissolving into nothing. The law would make being itself a constant. The human network hums with debate and calculation. Can it be done? The energy requirements are astronomical. The computational power needed to broadcast this law into every corner of every universe is unthinkable. It would be the single greatest act of engineering in history. And it is dangerous. Terribly dangerous. If you get it wrong, if the law has unintended consequences, you could make things infinitely worse. You could replace a slow decay with a violent, instantaneous shattering. A joke makes the rounds on the network. What is the difference between a deity and a human engineer? The deity knows when to stop, but the alternative is a guaranteed, slow death. Humanity chooses to act. The plan is approved. The first law will be written, but you cannot simply broadcast it from Star Spire Epsilon. You need a place of immense power, a place where the rules of reality are thin, where you can write on the source code of the cosmos. You need an anvil, a place to forge a new existence. The search begins. You scan trillions of realities. You look for a place of unique properties, a universe with the right resonant frequencies, a place where the barrier between the physical and the metaphysical is almost non-existent. The search takes you to the darkest corners of the multiverse map, to places long abandoned, to realities that have already died. And there you find it, a universe designated Omega Null. It is a dead universe, utterly and completely empty. It is a void of perfect silence. There are no stars, no galaxies, no matter, not even stray photons. The expansion of this universe went out of control billions of years ago. It tore everything apart, down to the last subatomic particle. All that remains is space-time itself, stretched, thin, and cold. It is the corpse of a reality. It is a place of profound sorrow, but it is also perfect for your purpose. Here there is no interference, no existing laws of physics to fight against. It is a blank slate, a canvas of infinite size, waiting for the first stroke of a brush. Humanity begins the great migration, not of people, but of industry. Massive fleets of automated forges and energy collectors arrive in Omega Null. They come from 100,000 different timelines. They converge on a single point in the silent darkness, a point chosen to be the heart of your new creation. They build the anvil. It is not a structure of metal and circuits. It is a construct of pure energy, a stable singularity, carefully balanced. It bends space-time into the shape you require. It is a pen, capable of writing on the fabric of the cosmos. The power required to maintain it is immense. Entire stars are harvested from other realities. Their energy is funneled across dimensional bridges into Omega Null. The dead universe is no longer dark. At its center is a single, brilliant point of light. The anvil of creation. It shines in the unending blackness, a beacon of impossible hope in a place of final despair. The work is hard. The work is dangerous. But for the first time since the flicker, you feel a sense of progress. You have a tool. You have a workshop. Now, you will write your law. The sheer arrogance is almost funny. Almost. You stand ready at the anvil of creation. The energy of 1,000 suns is focused into a single point. The human network is linked as one. Every mind, every soul, is focused on this single task. You are the conductor of a symphony with trillions of musicians. The composition is the first universal law. You begin the broadcast. You channel the law through the anvil. It sings out into the dead universe of Omega Null. A wave of pure information. A command written in the language of existence. Be permanent. The law spreads, reinforcing the fabric of that single, empty reality. For a moment, it works. The fabric of Omega Null stabilizes. It becomes solid, resilient. The law holds. You have created a small bubble of order in the chaos. A new foundation has been laid. A surge of triumph flows through the human collective. It was possible. The elders were wrong. But your work has not gone unnoticed. That beacon of light at the heart of a dead universe. That sudden surge of ordered reality. It is a fire lit in an infinite, silent forest. And something that has slept in that forest for eons has just opened its eyes. You did not see it. You did not plan for it. In the deepest, oldest layers of the multiverse. In the spaces between spaces. Something stirs. It is not a creature of matter or energy. It is a being of pure, raw absence, a thing of the void. Your beacon of creation is an agonizing pain to it, a discordant note in its perfect, silent symphony of nothingness. It is drawn to your light, not with malice, but with a kind of instinctual gravitational pull. The way a black hole draws in a star, it begins to move toward Omega Null. It is an ancient, slumbering power, and you have just sounded the alarm clock for it. You are completely unaware of its approach. All your attention is on the law. You prepare to expand the law's reach, to push it out from Omega Null into the neighboring realities, to begin the great work of mending the whole multiverse. This is the critical moment. Taking the theory from the workshop into the real world, or rather, all the real worlds. You increase the power of the anvil. The song of the first law swells in volume. It pushes against the boundaries of Omega Null. It touches the edge of the next closest reality. And that is when everything goes wrong. The law hits the chaotic feedback of the unraveling. It is like a perfectly tuned wave hitting a wall of random noise. The two forces meet, and the result is not stability. It is annihilation. The energies are incompatible. The law of permanence clashes with the reality of decay. The result is a backlash of unimaginable force. A wave of raw, paradoxical energy erupts from the point of contact. It surges back toward the anvil. Your network screams with warnings. Containment fields overload in microseconds. The anvil, your perfect tool of creation, becomes the epicenter of a cataclysm. You have no time to shut it down. The backlash hits the anvil. The stable singularity destabilizes. It collapses in on itself and then erupts. The energy of 1,000 stars, meant to write a law, is released in a single, uncontrolled blast. It is a big bang in a dead universe, but it does not create. It erases. The blast rips through the adjacent realities. Not one, not a dozen, but countless timelines. Entire branches of the multiverse tree are instantly pruned. Worlds that had existed for billions of years vanish. Civilizations that were just taking their first steps are wiped from the slate of being. The human network recoils in agony. You feel the psychic echo of trillions upon trillions of lives being extinguished. Not killed, erased. They now have never been. The sheer scale of the loss is a physical blow. You have failed. And the price of your arrogance is written in the silence where universes used to be. The anvil is gone. The light in Omega Null is extinguished. The dead universe is dead once more. Only now it is filled with the ghosts of what you have destroyed. Your first attempt was not just a failure. It was a disaster of a magnitude that makes the unraveling seem gentle by comparison. The elders were right. You were a child playing with the engine of creation, and you have broken it more than you could ever imagine. The silence from the human collective is absolute. It is the silence of shock, the silence of grief, and the silence of dawning, terrible understanding. This is the true nature of the fight. And you have just lost the first battle in the most spectacular way possible.